Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Today Journey. I am very happy that you are here with me today. Thank you for taking your time to learn English. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe so you can receive daily English tips and lessons. Learning English every day, even a little, can make a big difference over time. My name is Sarah, and I want you to feel comfortable and relaxed while learning with me. I know that learning English can sometimes feel difficult and even stressful. Many people feel nervous when they study a new language, especially English. But don't worry. In this lesson, we will go slowly and clearly. We will learn step by step in an easy and calm way. This is your time to relax, listen carefully, and enjoy the learning process. Today, I want to share a complete and simple guide on how to learn English. We will talk about how to practice listening, how to improve your understanding, and how to make English a natural part of your daily life. You do not need to hurry. Just sit comfortably, maybe drink a cup of tea or water, and learn together with me in a peaceful way. When you start learning English, the most important thing is your mindset. Mindset means how you think and feel about learning. You need to believe that you can learn English. Many learners think things like, English is too hard, or my pronunciation is very bad, or I cannot understand native speakers. These thoughts are very common, but they are not helpful. When you think this way, you may feel discouraged and stop trying. Instead, I want you to have a kind and positive mindset. Tell yourself, I can learn English, and I can improve slowly. It is okay to make mistakes. Every small step is progress. Learning a language is not a race. You do not need to be fast. You just need to continue learning a little every day. Even 10 or 15 minutes of practice can help you improve over time. Now, let's talk about listening practice. Listening is one of the most important skills in English. When you listen to English often, your brain starts to understand the sounds, rhythm, and patterns of the language. You begin to hear how words connect, which words are stressed, and how English sounds naturally. At the beginning, you may not understand everything you hear, and that is completely okay. Do not try to understand every single word. That can make you feel tired and frustrated. Instead, focus on the main idea. Ask yourself simple questions like, what is the topic? What is the speaker talking about? How does the speaker feel? Are they happy, calm, or serious? This is real listening practice, and it will help you improve step by step. You do not need to stop every few seconds to translate English into your own language. This can slow you down and make listening feel difficult. Instead, try to relax. Let the sounds pass through your ears and into your brain naturally. At first, it may feel confusing, but over time your brain will begin to recognize more words and understand more meaning. This is how listening practice truly works. Understanding grows slowly, but it grows steadily. If you are a B2 learner, your English level is already quite strong. You can understand many conversations. You are able to read books and articles. You can write emails and messages, and you can share your thoughts in English. However, even at this level, many learners still feel stuck. You might feel that you cannot find the right words quickly. You may understand English in movies or videos, but real-life conversations feel harder. You might also feel shy or nervous when speaking. All of these feelings are completely normal. To move from B2 to a higher level, you need more natural listening and speaking practice. This means listening to real English as much as possible. You can listen to podcasts, YouTube channels like this one, or English songs. But the most important thing is how you listen. You should practice active listening. Active listening means you do not just play English in the background while doing other things. You focus on it. You pay attention to the sounds, the words, and the way sentences are spoken. Try to repeat some sentences out loud when you listen. Copy the speaker's rhythm and pronunciation. This helps your mouth and ears learn together. Sometimes, you can also write down what you hear. This is called dictation. Even writing a few sentences can help a lot. It trains your listening skills and helps you notice new words and sentence patterns. When you practice listening, always choose topics that you enjoy. This is very important. If you like cooking, watch or listen to English cooking videos. If you enjoy travel, listen to travel vlogs or travel podcasts. If you love stories, listen to English storytelling channels. When you enjoy the topic, your brain feels relaxed and happy. This makes learning easier and faster. It is also very important to listen to different accents. English is spoken all over the world, not only in the United States or the United Kingdom. People from many countries speak English in different ways. When you listen to many accents, you become better at understanding real-world English. You can start with slow and clear English like this lesson and then slowly move to faster and more natural speech. Now, let's talk about learning English in general. There are 4 main skills in English: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. All 4 skills are connected, and improving one skill can help the others. A balanced practice of these skills will help you become more confident and natural in English over time. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing are the 4 main skills in English. All of them are important, but you do not need to practice everything at the same time. In fact, it is better to focus on one skill each day. This makes learning feel easier and less stressful. For example, on Monday, you can focus on listening. You can listen to a podcast, a video, or an English lesson. On Tuesday, you can practice speaking. Even if you do not have a partner, you can still speak English by yourself. On Wednesday, you can practice reading. Choose an easy article, a short story, or a simple book. On Thursday, you can practice writing. You can write something small, like a short diary about your day, or a few sentences about how you feel. Then on Friday, you can mix all the skills together. When you learn this way, your brain becomes stronger in all areas of English step by step. Speaking is a skill that many learners feel afraid of. Many people think, I can't speak English well, or I make too many mistakes, or I don't sound good. But there is something very important you need to remember. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are actually your best teachers. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. That is how improvement happens. So, do not be afraid to speak. Speak slowly, clearly, and with confidence. You do not need to sound perfect. You just need to try. If you do not have a speaking partner, talk to yourself. This is a very powerful habit. You can describe what you are doing during the day in English. For example, you can say, I am making coffee now, I am washing the dishes, or I am going to work. These small sentences help your brain start thinking in English naturally. Another very effective way to improve English is shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a short sentence and then repeat it right after the speaker. You try to copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, and even the emotion of the voice. It is like you are echoing the speaker. This method helps both your listening and speaking skills at the same time. You can shadow TV shows, YouTube videos, podcasts, or audio lessons like this one. Do not worry if it feels difficult at first. You do not need to be perfect. Just keep practicing, and slowly you will sound more natural. Now, let's talk about reading. Reading is a great way to learn new words and understand how English sentences are formed. You do not need to read very difficult books. Start with simple materials. Short stories and children's books are excellent for learners. They use easy language, but they contain many useful words and expressions. Reading a little every day can help you feel more comfortable with English and grow your vocabulary naturally. When you read in English, do not stop every time you see a word you do not know. Stopping too often can break your focus and make reading feel difficult. Instead, try to guess the meaning from the sentence or the situation. Look at the words around it and ask yourself what makes sense. Later, if the word still feels important, you can check it in a dictionary. If you read a little every day, your vocabulary will grow faster than you expect. Reading regularly helps new words stay in your memory naturally. Now, let's talk about writing. Writing is the last skill we will focus on today, but it is just as important as the others. Writing helps you organize your thoughts and makes your grammar stronger. You do not need to write long or perfect texts. You can start with something very simple. For example, you can write a short diary in English every day. Just a few sentences are enough. You can write about how your day was, what you did, what you learned, or what made you happy. This small habit helps you feel more comfortable using English to express yourself. If you have a friend who is also learning English, you can write short messages or emails to each other in English. This makes writing more fun and more natural. When writing feels enjoyable, you will want to do it more often, and that is how improvement happens. Now, let's talk about motivation because motivation is very important when learning English. Sometimes you may feel tired or bored. Sometimes you may feel like you are not improving at all. Please remember that this feeling is very common. Every language learner experiences this. In the beginning, progress feels fast and exciting. Later, progress feels slower. This does not mean you are failing. It means you are moving to a higher level where learning becomes deeper and more complex. The best way to stay motivated is to enjoy the learning process. Try to notice small successes. Maybe today you understood a movie without subtitles. Maybe you spoke English with someone for the first time. Maybe you understood a conversation that felt difficult before. Celebrate these moments. They are real signs that you are improving. You can also keep learning fun by changing your activities. One day you can watch a movie in English. Another day you can listen to English music. Another day you can read a short story or watch a video. When learning is fun, it does not feel like hard work. You can even talk to your phone in English or use apps that help you practice listening and pronunciation. But always remember one important thing. Real progress comes from daily practice, not from studying for many hours only one day. Even 15 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week. Small, daily effort brings big results over time. Take a deep breath. Learning English is a long journey, but you are not alone. You are moving forward step by step, and that is what truly matters. We are here together, and every time you listen to this channel, you are improving your English. Even when you feel tired or unsure, learning is still happening. Sarah truly believes in you, and I want you to believe in yourself too. You can do this. Just keep listening, keep speaking, keep reading, and keep writing. These small actions, done again and again, will help you grow. Do not compare yourself to other people. Everyone learns at a different speed, and everyone has a different journey. Some people learn fast, and some people need more time. Both ways are okay. What matters is your own progress. Focus on yourself and enjoy your learning journey. English is not about being better than others. It is about becoming better than you were yesterday. As a full and simple guideline for learning English, there is one important message I want you to remember. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And be consistent. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to try a little every day. Every small effort adds up over time. One day, you will look back and be surprised by how much you have improved. I know you are trying your best to learn English. And before we continue, I want to tell you something important. You're doing great. It does not matter how long it takes to reach your goal. What matters is that you are here now, listening, learning, and improving every single day. That already means success. Learning English is a beautiful journey, and you are not alone. I am here with you every step of the way. So take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Let go of stress and pressure. Enjoy this moment. Today, we are learning English in a smart, simple, and happy way. This is your full guideline for learning English, made easy and friendly for everyone who wants to speak, listen, and understand English better. When we begin any new skill, it often feels a little scary. Maybe you feel shy when you speak. Maybe you think your accent is not good. Maybe you forget words when you try to talk. All of this is completely normal. Every English speaker, even native speakers, makes mistakes sometimes. Mistakes are part of learning. The real secret is not to stop. The more you listen, the more you speak, and the more you practice, the stronger you become. Think of English like a muscle. When you use it every day, even for a short time, it becomes stronger. But when you stop using it, it becomes weak again. So, do not wait for the perfect time to study. There is no perfect moment. Just start now. Even if you only have a few minutes, that is enough. Small daily practice is powerful. Keep going, stay gentle with yourself, and trust the process. You are learning, you are growing, and you are moving forward step by step. Even if you only study for 10 minutes a day, it can still make a big difference. The most important thing is to be consistent. Now, let's talk about listening, because listening is the heart of learning any language. Listening helps your brain understand sounds, rhythm, and real communication. It is the foundation of English. Many learners believe they must first study grammar rules and memorize vocabulary before they start listening. But in reality, it works the opposite way. Listening helps you learn grammar and vocabulary naturally. When you listen to English again and again, your brain begins to notice patterns. You start to hear how words go together, how questions are formed, and how people connect sounds when they speak. Over time, you do not need to think so much about grammar rules. You simply start to feel what sounds right. That is why listening should be a daily habit. Start with easy English. Choose slow and clear YouTube lessons, podcasts, or audiobooks made especially for learners. You do not need to sit at a desk and study. You can listen while you cook, walk, clean, or travel. Listening can become part of your daily life. Remember, the goal is not to understand every single word. The goal is to understand the main idea. When you listen, ask yourself simple questions. What is the speaker talking about? What is the topic? What is the mood? Are they happy, calm, serious, or excited? What do they want to say? These questions help your brain understand meaning without translating into your native language. This is very important for becoming fluent. If you do not understand something, do not worry and do not feel discouraged. Just listen again another day. Each time you listen, you will understand a little more. You may catch a few new words or understand one more sentence. One day, you will suddenly realize that you understand almost everything. This moment will surprise you, and it will come naturally if you keep listening. Now, let's talk about how to make listening practice fun. One of the best ways is to listen to things you truly enjoy. If you love music, listen to English songs. If you enjoy movies, watch English movies or series. If you like stories, listen to storytelling channels. If you enjoy travel, watch travel videos in English. When you enjoy what you're listening to, your mind stays open, relaxed, and ready to learn. You can also listen to children's shows in English. These shows use simple and clear language, and they repeat useful expressions many times. They are great for building strong listening skills. Subtitles can also be helpful, but you should not depend on them too much. First, try to listen without subtitles. Then, if you really need help, turn them on and check what you missed. After that, turn the subtitles off and listen one more time. This small exercise trains both your ears and your eyes and makes your listening stronger. For B2 learners like you already understand a lot of English. However, you may feel that native speakers talk too fast or use expressions you do not know. This is normal. With regular listening practice, fast and natural English will slowly become easier. Be patient, keep listening every day, and trust that your skills are growing little by little. Sometimes native speakers talk very fast or use slang that feels strange and confusing. That is completely okay. This happens to everyone who learns English. The best way to deal with this is to use short listening clips and listen to them many times. Each time you listen, focus on something different. First, just listen and relax. Do not try to understand everything. Next, listen again and try to repeat what you hear. After that, listen and write down some of the words or sentences you hear. Finally, listen one more time without doing anything. You will be surprised by how much more you understand. This method helps your brain learn deeply and naturally. Now, let's move on to speaking. Speaking is often the hardest part of learning English for many people. I know that you may feel nervous or afraid to speak because you worry about making mistakes. But remember this. Even children make thousands of mistakes when they learn their first language. Making mistakes is not a problem. It is part of the learning process. The only way to improve speaking is to speak often. You do not always need a teacher or a speaking partner. You can talk to yourself, and this is very powerful. For example, you can describe what you see around you. You can say, I am sitting at my desk. I am holding my phone. I am drinking water. This simple practice helps your brain think in English instead of translating from your native language. Another very helpful technique is recording yourself speaking. Choose an easy topic, such as your favorite food, your hobby, or your daily routine. Speak for 1 or 2 minutes and record your voice. Then listen to the recording. Do not judge yourself or feel embarrassed. Just listen carefully and notice small things you can improve. Maybe one word is not clear. Maybe you pause too often. That is okay. The next time, try again and improve little by little. When you listen to your own voice, your brain becomes more aware of the sounds you make, and learning becomes faster. Now, let's talk about pronunciation. Many learners worry too much about their accent. Please remember that having an accent is normal. Everyone in the world has an accent, even native speakers. The goal is not to sound exactly like a native speaker. The goal is to speak clearly and be understood. Clear pronunciation comes from listening carefully and speaking slowly. When you listen to native speakers, pay attention to how they connect words. For example, instead of saying want to very clearly, they often say something like wanna. Instead of going to, they may say gonna. These small connections make English sound more natural and fluent. You do not need to use these connections perfectly right away. Just notice them first. Over time, as you listen more and speak more, these patterns will start to feel natural to you. Keep practicing, stay patient, and trust that your speaking skills are improving every day. You can also try a method called shadowing. Shadowing means you repeat a sentence right after you hear it. First, choose a short audio or video clip. Play one sentence, pause the audio, and say the sentence exactly the same way. Try to copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, and the feeling of the speaker's voice. Repeat the same sentence a few times until you feel comfortable. This method helps your listening and speaking at the same time, and it slowly makes your English sound more natural. Now, let's move on to reading. Reading is like food for your vocabulary. When you read, you see new words inside real sentences. This helps you remember words better than just memorizing them alone. You do not need to start with difficult books. It is better to begin with short stories, simple news articles, or English blogs about topics you enjoy. When reading feels interesting, your brain stays open and focused. When you find a new word while reading, do not stop immediately. Try to guess the meaning from the sentence. Look at the words around it and think about what makes sense. Later, you can check the word in a dictionary. Understanding words naturally is much stronger than memorizing long word lists. This way, the word stays in your memory longer. If you can, try reading aloud. Reading aloud is very helpful for your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. It also helps your mouth become comfortable with English sounds. You do not need to read for a long time. Just choose a short paragraph every day. Read it slowly, clearly, and happily. Do not worry about mistakes. You do not need to be perfect. The goal is to enjoy the sound of English and feel relaxed while reading. Writing is another very useful skill, but many learners forget to practice it. Writing helps make your grammar stronger and helps you express your thoughts more clearly. You can start by writing a short diary in English every day. Write about how you feel, what you did, or what you learned. You do not need long or complicated sentences. Simple and honest sentences are enough. For example, you can write something like, "Today I listened to an English podcast. I learned a new word. The word is peaceful. I feel peaceful when I listen to English." These small notes help you use English naturally and confidently. Now let's talk about vocabulary because many learners say, "I know many words, but I forget them." This is completely normal. Forgetting words is part of learning. To really remember vocabulary, you need to meet the same word many times in different situations. This happens naturally when you read, listen, speak, and write in English. When you learn a new word, try to make a personal sentence with it. Personal sentences are easier to remember because they are connected to your life. For example, if the word is journey, you can say, "Learning English is my journey." When words become part of your own story, they stay in your memory longer. Do not try to learn too many new words at one time. It is better to learn a few words well and see them again and again. Over time, your vocabulary will grow naturally, and you will feel more confident using English in real life. When you use new words in your own life, your brain remembers them much longer. For example, if you learned the word peaceful yesterday and today you say, "I feel peaceful when I listen to music," your brain connects the word to your real experience. This makes learning much stronger. You can also make small flashcards or use mobile apps to review words. But don't just memorize long lists of words. Memorizing alone usually does not help you remember words in real situations. Instead, learn words in groups or phrases. For example, learn take a shower, take a rest, and take your time. When you learn like this, you understand how words naturally work together, and you can use them in sentences more easily. Let's take a short mental pause now. Close your eyes if you want, and take a deep breath. Think about why you are learning English. Maybe you want a better job, or maybe you want to travel and talk with people in other countries. Maybe you just love languages and enjoy learning new things. Whatever your reason is, keep it in your heart. That reason is your power. Every time you feel tired, lazy, or frustrated, remember your reason. It will help you keep going. Motivation is like fuel for a car. If you run out of fuel, the car stops. If your motivation disappears, your learning slows down. That is why it is important to fill your tank every day with positive thoughts. Celebrate your progress, even the small things. Maybe you understood a sentence in a movie without subtitles. Maybe you wrote a short note in English or had a simple chat online. These are real achievements, and they show that you are moving forward. Do not compare yourself with other people. Everyone learns differently, and your journey is unique. Some learners progress quickly, and some take more time. Both ways are okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Every small step counts, and every small effort builds your skills. Now, let's talk about grammar. Many learners think grammar is boring, difficult, or confusing. But grammar does not have to be scary. You do not need to study hundreds of grammar rules to speak English well. What you need is to notice grammar naturally while listening and reading. For example, if you hear the sentence, "I have been learning English for 2 years," you can ask yourself, why do they use have been here? Slowly, over time, you'll start to see patterns. Grammar is not a punishment. It is like a helpful friend. It organizes your words so people can understand you. It also helps you write clearly and speak smoothly. It is perfectly okay to make grammar mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes, especially when they speak quickly or informally. Mistakes are not failure. They are part of learning. The most important thing is communication. If people understand what you are trying to say, that is success. Later, you can gradually refine your grammar, but first, focus on speaking clearly and confidently. English is meant to connect people, not to be perfect. Keep practicing listening, reading, writing, and speaking every day, and you will notice improvement little by little. Now, let's talk about correcting your grammar. It is important, but you do not need to fix everything at once. You can correct your grammar slowly, step by step. Over time, your sentences will become more accurate. The most important thing is to keep practicing and not get stuck worrying about mistakes. Mistakes are normal, and they help you learn. Next, let's talk about consistency. Learning English is very similar to growing a plant. A plant needs water every day. If you pour a lot of water on one day and then forget for a week, the plant will not grow well. But if you give it a little water every day, it will grow strong and healthy. Learning English works the same way. Doing a little every day is much more effective than studying a lot once in a while. Even 10 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of reading, or writing a few sentences every day will make a big difference in just a few months. Small, regular steps add up over time. Try to make English a natural part of your daily life. You can change your phone or computer language to English. Watch short videos in English with captions to help you understand. Think in English while doing simple daily tasks like walking, cooking, or cleaning. Ask yourself easy questions in English, like, "What am I doing now?" Or, "What will I eat for lunch?" This keeps your brain active in English and helps you practice without needing extra study time. The more you practice English in real life, the more natural it becomes. Now, let's talk about confidence. Many learners feel shy to speak because they are afraid of making mistakes or being judged. But here is the truth. Most people do not care about your mistakes. They care about understanding your message. When you speak English, speak with love and confidence. Smile, make eye contact, and take your time. Your goal is not to speak fast. Your goal is to speak clearly and be understood. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you will become. Confidence grows with action, not perfection. Another helpful tip is to surround yourself with English. Listen to English radio, follow English YouTubers, or join online communities where people chat in English. The more you see, hear, and use English, the more familiar it becomes. At first, you may not understand everything, and that is completely normal. Your brain is learning even if you do not notice it immediately. Just by listening patiently and focusing, you're improving. Every small effort counts. Remember, there is no rush in learning English. You can take your time and learn at your own pace. Some days you may feel that you learn a lot, and other days only a little. That is perfectly fine. What matters most is that you do not stop. Every minute you spend listening, reading, speaking, or writing adds up. Every day you practice, you get stronger, smarter, and more confident in English. Your journey is unique, and each step, no matter how small, is moving you forward. Every minute you spend listening, reading, writing, or speaking in English helps your brain get used to the language. Think of learning English like planting a garden. At first, you only see soil and tiny seeds. Nothing looks special yet. But if you water those seeds every day with patience, little by little they grow. And one day, you see beautiful flowers blooming. Your English works the same way. Every new word you hear, or every sentence you speak, is like a tiny seed planted in your mind. With daily care, those seeds grow into strong skills. Over time, your listening, speaking, reading, and writing all blossom, just like flowers in a garden. Now, let's talk about listening again, because this skill is extremely powerful. When you listen carefully to English, you are learning much more than just words. You are learning the music of the language, the tone, the rhythm, the way emotions are expressed. You begin to feel the language naturally. Many learners think English is only about memorizing grammar rules or vocabulary. That is not true. Real English learning is about understanding meaning through sound. Listening helps you feel how people express ideas and emotions. When you listen, try to notice the mood of the speaker. Are they happy, sad, excited, or serious? You don't need to understand every single word to feel their emotions. This skill, understanding meaning through feeling, is very important. It helps you understand real English the way native speakers do. You can practice this by listening to English movies or TV shows. Choose short scenes with strong emotion. Don't focus too much on every word. Instead, pay attention to the expressions, tone, and rhythm. Notice how the speaker's voice rises and falls, how they pause, and how they emphasize certain words. Slowly, your brain connects the emotions to the meaning of the sentences, and this makes remembering English much easier. Repetition is another secret to success. Watching or listening to the same clip many times is not boring, it is smart. The first time, you may only understand the main idea. The second time, you will catch more details. The third time, you start remembering sentences and patterns. After several repetitions, you may even predict what will come next. This is how your brain really learns. This repetition trains your memory, listening skills, and even your speaking skills at the same time. Speaking is just as important as listening. When you speak English, you practice using the seeds that you have planted in your mind. Each word and sentence you speak strengthens your brain, builds confidence, and helps you connect ideas naturally. Speaking regularly, even to yourself, is very effective. Describe what you see, what you are doing, or what you plan to do. For example, say, I am cooking lunch. I am listening to music. I am learning English. These simple sentences train your mind to think in English instead of translating from your native language. Over time, speaking becomes easier and more natural, just like the flowers in your garden growing taller and stronger with daily care. Speaking English is not just learning words, it is showing the world your courage. Speaking another language is an act of bravery because you are expressing yourself in a new way. Every time you try, even if it's just one small sentence, you are doing something powerful. Be proud of yourself. Many learners feel nervous about speaking because they worry about mistakes. But here is an important truth. Nobody speaks perfectly. Even native English speakers say, or pause to think. That is completely normal. You don't need to rush. Speaking slowly is much better than speaking fast with mistakes. Speaking slowly shows clarity and confidence. It also helps your brain choose the right words and form better sentences. One very effective way to practice speaking is to repeat what you hear in daily life. For example, when you watch a YouTube video, pause and repeat 1 or 2 sentences after the speaker. When you listen to a song, sing along slowly. If you hear someone say something interesting, repeat it quietly to yourself. This builds a strong connection between your ears and your mouth. This practice is called active imitation. It helps you sound more natural without forcing yourself. Your mouth learns the rhythm, pronunciation, and melody of English, while your brain remembers the words. Another small but powerful tip is to speak English to yourself every morning for just 2 minutes. When you wake up, you can say something simple like, "Good morning. Today is a new day. I will learn something new today. I will listen carefully and speak confidently." Doing this every day helps your brain start thinking in English automatically. Even small sentences can make a big difference over time. This morning habit prepares your mind for learning and practicing English throughout the day. Now, let's talk about building habits, because habits are the secret to long-term success. Habits are small actions we repeat so often that they become easy and natural. When English becomes a habit, learning happens almost automatically. For example, you can decide to listen to 10 minutes of English audio every morning while drinking coffee. Or you can read one short story in English before bed. You can also write a short diary entry in English every night. If you do these things consistently, they will become natural, like brushing your teeth. You won't need to push yourself. Your brain will expect English as part of your daily routine. Consistency is more important than long hours of study. Doing a little every day is far better than doing 2 hours once a week. Small, regular practice adds up. Over time, your listening, speaking, reading, and writing will all improve. Your confidence will grow naturally because you will be using English every day. You will start to notice that English is not something scary or difficult. It becomes part of your life. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. You will start thinking in English automatically, understanding more, and speaking more clearly without worrying about mistakes. English is like a garden, and daily habits are the water and sunlight. Each small action, listening to a podcast, repeating a sentence, reading a story, writing a few sentences, or speaking to yourself, is like planting a seed. With patience, these seeds grow into strong skills. One day, you will look back and see how far you have come. All your small efforts, repeated daily, create big results. When English becomes a regular part of your daily life, it starts to feel natural. This is the real secret of fluency. It's not about magic or huge study plans. It's about small, consistent habits practiced every day. Little by little, your listening, speaking, reading, and writing improve, and before you know it, English feels like a normal part of your life. Now, let's talk about reading. Reading is a wonderful way to understand the soul of English. When you read, you can see how people express thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Start with easy books, short stories, or articles. You can also use graded readers, which are books written especially for English learners. These books have different levels like B1, B2, or higher. Pick a level that feels comfortable, but still slightly challenging. Reading these books helps you build confidence. Finishing even a short book gives you a sense of pride and motivates you to read more. When you read, take your time. Don't rush through sentences. Read slowly and imagine what is happening. Visualization makes reading more fun and helps your brain remember words and ideas. For example, if you read about a sunny beach, picture the blue sky, the waves, and the warm sand under your feet. Connecting feelings and images to the language makes learning faster and more natural. Sometimes, you may find a paragraph that is difficult to understand. Don't worry. Take a short break and come back later. Often, after a pause, the meaning becomes clearer. Learning is not about speed. It's about understanding and enjoying the process. Even learning one useful thing a day is progress. Writing is another important skill. Writing is not just about grammar, it's about expressing yourself clearly. Writing helps you organize your thoughts and prepare what you want to say. If you feel shy to speak, writing first can make speaking easier. You can start with short messages, comments, or journal entries. Don't worry about mistakes. Every word you write is progress. Writing can also be fun if you choose interesting topics. Write about your dream trip, your favorite movie, a special memory, or something you learned today. Use simple words. The goal is to use English naturally, not perfectly. Small daily practices in reading and writing, combined with listening and speaking, create strong English skills over time. Each day, your brain absorbs patterns, vocabulary, and ideas. Reading shows how sentences are built, how thoughts are expressed, and how words connect. Writing allows you to use your new words and grammar in real situations. Both skills help each other. Reading teaches new words and phrases, writing practices them actively. Together, these habits make your English stronger and more confident. Remember, learning English is like planting seeds in a garden. Each sentence you read, each word you write, and each time you speak or listen is watering your garden. Some days, it may feel slow. You may think progress is small. That's normal. Keep going. Small, daily steps grow into big results. Over time, reading, writing, speaking, and listening become natural, and your English blossoms beautifully. When you write in English, don't worry about being perfect. The most important thing is to express yourself freely. You can start with short sentences or small diary entries. Write about your day, your feelings, or what you learned. If you want, you can even share your writing online with other learners. Connecting with people who are learning English just like you can be fun and encouraging. Seeing that others are trying, making mistakes, and improving will remind you that you are not alone. Listening is another very important skill, and one thing many learners forget is that English is spoken in many different accents. People speak English differently in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and many other countries. Each place has its own accent, pronunciation, and sometimes different words. At first, this can be confusing, but it is also exciting. Listening to different accents helps you understand English from all over the world. It makes you more flexible as a listener. You can start with one accent, such as American or British, and then slowly try others. There are many videos online where people compare accents, and those can be very helpful and fun. Listening to accents will train your ear and make it easier to understand real English in movies, podcasts, and conversations. Your environment is also very important when learning English. Try to create an English atmosphere around you. You can put English labels on objects in your room, like door, mirror, window, or chair. You can also follow English social media pages so your feed is full of small posts in English. Even tiny changes like these help your brain see and process English all the time. It is like living in an English-speaking world, even if you are not in an English-speaking country. Over time, your brain will start thinking in English naturally because it is constantly exposed to the language. Grammar is another part of English, but it should never stop you from speaking. Many learners are afraid to speak because they want to be 100% correct. But nobody is perfect, and that includes native speakers. While speaking, focus on communicating your message clearly. Grammar can be studied separately. For example, when you read or write, notice patterns. Ask yourself questions like, why is this in the past tense? Or, why is this plural? This gentle curiosity will help you learn grammar naturally, without feeling stressed. Grammar is like a helpful guide. It organizes your words, but it should never scare you from using English. Finally, let's talk about motivation again because keeping motivation alive is one of the keys to learning English. Learning a language is a long journey, and it is normal to feel tired, bored, or frustrated sometimes. But every learner goes through this. The secret is to celebrate small victories. Maybe you understood a short sentence in a movie, or wrote a diary entry without checking the dictionary. These small wins are signs that you are improving. Motivation is like fuel for a car. Without it, you stop moving forward. Remind yourself daily why you are learning English. Maybe it's for a better job, travel, or simply because you love the language. Keep that reason in your heart, and it will carry you forward when learning feels hard. Motivation is one of the hardest parts of learning English, especially for a long journey. At first, learning is exciting. You feel full of energy, hope, and curiosity. You want to listen, read, write, and speak every day. But after a few weeks or months, it can feel like progress slows down. You may feel tired, bored, or even frustrated. This is completely normal. Every learner experiences this. The secret is not to give up, even when learning feels difficult. Small rests are okay. Taking a short break doesn't mean you are stopping. You can still learn gently while resting. For example, watch a relaxing video in English, listen to a soft English song, or read something easy that makes you happy. These gentle activities keep your brain connected to English without feeling like work. Another way to stay motivated is by giving yourself small rewards. Your brain likes rewards, and they make learning enjoyable. You can say, if I study English for 10 days in a row, I will buy myself a small treat. Or if I finish one English book, I will watch my favorite movie. Little rewards like this make your brain feel good and help you keep learning every day. Having clear goals is also very helpful. Goals give direction to your learning, but they need to be small and realistic. Don't set huge goals like, I will be fluent in 3 months. Instead, choose simple goals you can achieve. For example, I will listen to English for 10 minutes every day this month, or I will learn 5 new words every day. When you reach these small goals, you feel proud, and that pride gives you the energy to continue. Step by step, these small goals add up, and over time, they lead to real progress and fluency. Sometimes learners say, I can understand English, but I cannot speak. This is very common. Understanding English through reading and listening is easier than actively using it by speaking and writing. If you feel this way, it's actually a good sign. It means your listening and reading skills are strong. Speaking will come next. The key is to use English actively every day. Speak aloud, write short sentences, and think in English. You don't need fancy words. Simple words are enough to communicate your ideas clearly. Confidence is another very important part of learning English. Confidence comes from small successes. Every time you speak, write, or understand something new, your confidence grows. Even if you make mistakes, it is okay. Mistakes are part of learning. When you speak slowly, clearly, and with courage, people will understand you. Speaking in another language is an act of bravery because you're sharing your thoughts in a new way. Be proud of yourself for every small step you take. A simple tip to build confidence is to practice English every morning. For example, say to yourself, "Good morning. Today is a new day. I will learn something new in English. I will listen carefully and speak confidently." This small daily habit prepares your brain for the day and gradually helps you think in English automatically. Every tiny step counts. Speaking, writing, listening, and reading a little every day makes your English stronger. Finally, remember this. Learning English is not about speed. It's about small, consistent actions. Even 10 minutes a day is better than long hours once a week. Small daily habits, small goals, gentle learning, and small celebrations of success will carry you forward. Over time, you will notice how much you have grown. Learning English is like planting a garden. Each word, each sentence, each practice is a seed. With patience, care, and consistent effort, these seeds will grow into a beautiful garden of fluency. Even if your English is short or simple, every time you speak, you're building confidence. Don't wait for perfect English to start talking. Perfect English does not exist. What matters most is real communication. People will understand you even if you make small mistakes, as long as you speak with kindness and clarity. It's also very important to be kind to yourself. Many learners are too hard on themselves. They think, "My English is terrible," or "I will never learn." These negative thoughts make learning harder and slow your progress. Instead, talk to yourself gently. Say, "I am learning every day. I am improving." Positive thinking helps your brain stay relaxed, open, and ready to learn. A calm mind learns faster and remembers more. Time is another concern many learners have. People often say, "I don't have time to study." But learning English doesn't need long hours. You can use small moments throughout the day to practice. Listen while cleaning your room, cooking, or walking. Repeat short phrases when you have a few free minutes. Every little moment counts. Learning regularly, even for a few minutes, is much more effective than studying for hours once in a while. It's about consistency, not length. The key is to organize your learning in a way that feels easy, natural, and stress-free. Many people try to study too much at once, and then they feel tired, frustrated, or even give up. That's not what we want. English should fit smoothly into your daily life. Small habits make this possible. You could listen to English in the morning while brushing your teeth, read a short story at lunch or before bed, or write 2 or 3 sentences about your day. These small routines help your brain practice English naturally. Over time, your English grows without pressure. You don't need a big notebook or long study sessions. Just keep English close to you, like a gentle friend walking beside you every day. Even tiny habits add up. Writing a single sentence, repeating a short phrase, or listening for a few minutes all make a difference. Patience is very important too. Learning English is a long journey. You won't become fluent overnight. Some days you will learn a lot, and some days only a little. That's okay. Every small effort counts. Every sentence you speak, every word you read or write, is a step forward. Think of learning English like planting a garden. At first, you see only soil and seeds. You water them every day with small, consistent effort. Slowly, small green shoots appear. One day, beautiful flowers bloom. Your English grows the same way. Every word you hear, read, speak, or write is a seed planted in your mind. With patience, care, and daily practice, it will grow into strong, confident English. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You only need to be consistent, kind to yourself, and willing to practice a little every day. Celebrate small victories. Every time you understand a sentence, speak a short phrase, or write a few words, your brain gets stronger. Learning English is not about speed. It's about gentle, steady progress, patience, and enjoying the journey. Learning English takes time. Many learners want to speak fluently in 1 month. But learning a language is not like that. It's more like growing a tree. You start with a small seed. You water it and care for it every day. Slowly, it grows strong roots, green leaves, and becomes tall and beautiful. If you try to force it to grow faster, it might break. But if you are patient, it grows steadily and becomes strong. The same is true for learning English. Every small effort you make helps you grow. Even if you do not see progress every day, your brain is still learning. One day, you will look back and be surprised at how much you know. Sometimes, when you are learning, you may feel stuck. You might think, I am not improving anymore. This is normal. This feeling is called the silent period. During this time, your brain is quietly collecting information. You might not notice improvement outside, but inside your brain, many connections are forming.
You just need to keep going.
Keep listening, reading, and watching English content. Trust that your brain is working in the background, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Listening is one of the most important skills. When you listen, pay attention to the small details in English. Notice how the speaker's voice goes up and down. This is called intonation. Intonation helps you understand meaning and emotions. For example, if someone says really with a high tone, it can mean they are surprised. If they say it with a low tone, it can mean they already knew. These small changes in tone are very important. When you speak, try to copy them. This makes your speech sound natural and expressive. One way to practice intonation is to watch short dialogues. Play a sentence, pause, and repeat it exactly the same way. You do not need to understand every word at first. Just practice the rhythm, tone, and melody of the sentence. English is like music. Every sentence has its own melody. If you can copy it, your speech will sound more natural. You can also practice repeating short sentences every day. For example, listen to one sentence, say it slowly, and then try to say it faster like a native speaker. Listen again and repeat. Little by little, your brain will get used to the sounds, the rhythm, and the emotion in English. You can even do this while walking, cooking, or before going to bed. Small daily practice is more powerful than long study sessions done only once in a while. Remember, patience and consistency are the most important parts of learning. Don't rush. Small steps every day are better than big steps once in a while. Your brain is like a garden. Every sentence you hear, every word you learn, and every phrase you repeat is a seed. Water it a little every day. Slowly, your English will grow strong and beautiful. Trust yourself, keep practicing, and enjoy the journey. Every effort counts. When you listen carefully to English, you start to notice the melody in the language. English is like music. Every sentence has its own rhythm and tone. If you can catch that melody, both your listening and speaking will improve much faster. You can practice this by listening to short dialogues or sentences and repeating them. Try to copy the way the speaker says it, the rise and fall of their voice, the pauses, and the emotion. Don't worry if you don't understand every word at first. Just copy the sound and rhythm. After a few repetitions, your brain will remember it naturally. Another important step toward fluency is thinking in English. At the beginning, most learners translate from their native language. That is normal, but translating slows you down and makes speaking harder. You can start thinking in English with small steps. When you see an object, name it in English. For example, see a cup and think cup. See a cat and think cat. Then try small sentences. It is raining today, or I am hungry. Doing this daily trains your brain to stay in English mode. After a few weeks, you will notice your brain responds faster and your speech becomes smoother. You will feel more confident because you no longer need to translate every word in your head. Mistakes are also a very important part of learning. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes, but mistakes are actually your best teachers. Every mistake shows you something new. If you use the wrong grammar, you will learn the correct form later. If you say a word wrong, You are more likely to remember it next time. Without mistakes, there is no learning. Even babies fall many times before they learn to walk, but they never stop trying. You should do the same. Smile when you make a mistake and say, "I learned something new today." Sometimes your progress will be fast and sometimes it will be slow. This is normal. What matters is to keep a calm and positive mind. Variety in learning also helps you stay motivated. If you feel tired of one activity, try something different. Instead of reading, watch a funny video in English. Instead of listening, write a short story or a few sentences about your day. Changing activities keeps learning interesting and enjoyable. Little changes like this make a big difference over time. Pronunciation is another key skill. Clear pronunciation makes you easier to understand. One way to practice is shadowing. Shadowing means repeating a sentence immediately after you hear it. Play a short clip, pause, and say the sentence exactly the same way as the speaker. Repeat until you feel comfortable. This trains your ears and your mouth together. Another tip is to record yourself speaking. Pick a short topic, talk for 1 or 2 minutes, and listen carefully. Don't judge yourself. Notice where you can improve and try again. Over time, your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence will grow naturally. Learning English takes small, consistent daily efforts. Even a few minutes every day adds up. Think of your learning like planting a garden. Every word you hear, every sentence you speak, every page you read is a seed. Water these seeds every day. Slowly your knowledge grows. Your listening becomes better, your speaking becomes smoother, and your confidence increases. Mistakes, variety, and repetition are all part of this process. Keep practicing, stay positive, and enjoy every small success. Pronunciation in English can be tricky because the letters don't always match the sounds. But don't worry, you can train your mouth and ears with practice. When you listen to English speakers, pay attention to how they move their mouths.
Try to copy them.
You can even practice in front of a mirror. Look at your mouth and tongue while saying difficult sounds, like th and think or this. This small exercise helps your pronunciation a lot. Another fun way is to use tongue twisters. For example, try saying she sells seashells by the seashore. Start slowly, then go faster. It is a funny and useful way to strengthen your mouth muscles. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Listening to natural speech is also very important. Native speakers often connect words together. They say things like wanna instead of want to, gonna instead of going to, or kinda instead of kind of. You don't use these in formal writing, but it is very helpful to recognize them when you listen. Understanding these small connections makes real conversations much easier. You can even try using them when speaking casually. For example, say I'm going to go now instead of I am going to go now. But remember, the goal is not to speak fast. The goal is to speak clearly so others can understand you. Rest is an important part of learning too. Many learners study for hours but forget to rest, then they feel tired and lose motivation. Rest is part of the learning process. When you rest, your brain organizes what you learned and stores it in your memory. So never feel guilty about taking a short break. You can listen to soft English songs, watch an easy video, or do something relaxing. Learning should feel enjoyable, not stressful. Connecting with other people is another key way to improve your English. Talking with others helps you practice speaking, listening, and understanding natural conversations. If you can join online communities, language exchange groups, or chat with friends in English, it is very helpful. Don't worry if your sentences are short or simple. Every small conversation builds your confidence and skill. Even just saying hello and how are you is a step forward. The more you practice with real people, the more natural English will feel. Another important tip is patience. Learning a language is like growing a tree. You plant a small seed, water it, and take care of it. Slowly, it grows strong roots and leaves. You cannot rush it, and you should not be hard on yourself. Every small effort counts. Some days you will feel progress, other days it may feel slow. This is normal. keep going. Every time you listen, speak, read, or write, you are planting seeds that will grow into a strong English skill. Finally, keep your learning gentle and consistent. Small daily habits are better than long, stressful study sessions. You can listen to English for 10 minutes in the morning, read a short story at lunch, or write a few sentences before bed. Little actions every day add up. Mistakes, slow progress, and pauses are all normal. Celebrate your small successes and be kind to yourself. Learning English is a journey, not a race. Keep practicing, enjoy the process, and trust that every small effort helps you grow. Find friends who also want to practice English. Talking with real people helps you use English in real life. You learn how to answer questions, ask questions, and understand different accents. Even short conversations help a lot. If you feel shy, you can start by texting in English. Writing messages is also good practice. You can join English speaking groups on social media where people post photos, stories, or short updates. You can comment in English and make small conversations. This is safe and fun. Remember, English is not just a school subject. It is a tool to connect with people. The more you use it to talk to others, the more confident you become. Every small chat helps your brain practice English naturally. Now, let's talk about understanding fast English. Many learners say, "I understand slow English, but not when people speak fast." That is very normal. Fast speech is just normal English where words are connected. You can train your ears by listening to short, fast clips again and again. At first, it may sound like noise, but if you keep listening, your brain starts to notice patterns. It is like learning a new song. The more you hear it, the easier it becomes. You can also slow down videos when you practice. Many apps and YouTube videos let you play slower, like 0.75 speed. When you feel ready, move to normal speed. This small trick helps your ears understand English better. Now, let's talk about memory. Sometimes you learn something today and forget it tomorrow. That is normal. Forgetting is part of learning. When you review the same thing again, your brain remembers it better. Repetition is very important. Every time you repeat, your brain thinks, "This is important," and stores it longer. So, don't feel bad if you forget words, sentences, or rules. Just review them calmly and with a smile. Learning is not about remembering everything perfectly. It is about building your memory step by step. You can also make small notes or flashcards for new words or phrases. Try to use them in sentences about your life. For example, if you learn the word journey, you can say, "Learning English is my journey." Words you use in your life are easier to remember. Group words together in phrases like take a shower, take a rest, take your time. This shows how words live together in English. Another helpful tip is to focus on small daily habits. Listen to English for 10 minutes in the morning, read a short story at lunch, or write a few sentences before bed. These small habits add up. Even 5 to 10 minutes every day is powerful. Over time, you will notice that English starts to feel natural. Your listening improves, your speaking becomes smoother, and your memory gets stronger. Finally, be kind to yourself. Mistakes, forgetting, or slow progress are normal. Every small step counts. Celebrate little successes, like understanding a sentence in a video or writing a simple English sentence. These small wins build confidence. Learning English is a journey, not a race. Keep practicing a little every day, stay patient, and enjoy the process. Your brain is learning even when you feel tired or slow, so trust yourself and keep going.